Hello peeps, how you all doing? Deano here with a little update on what I've heard about Spurs. Right, so first of all, who watched the Champions League final? What a team they are, PSG. So we now know that we're playing PSG in the Super Cup final on the 13th of August, and that's in Italy, in Udine. I don't know if I'll be lucky enough to go out there. I'd like to go out there. Fancy, it's my favourite grub for starters. So yeah, I mean, that's all up and going. I've watched last night. I don't know what you thought about the game. Yeah, but leave the comments down below what you thought about the game, mate. That was, I don't think I've ever seen a team in the final be so convincing, especially against an Italian team, especially good in defence. Inter have been fantastic in defence this season. Yeah, that was a quite impressive performance. I don't know whether to be excited about the final or extremely scared. How do you feel? And just to think that their forward line, their three forwards that they've got, are unbelievable. I couldn't tell you their names, they're all like dodgy names. But I know those were linked with us last season. Not one of them came through. One was, I think, was just flirting with us to get a better deal with PSG. But another one was, I think Levy okayed the 10 million. They wanted 20 million, but Levy wouldn't pay the rest. So you can thank our illustrious leader for not paying what the player was worth, really, and we missed out. Now he's at PSG and actually smashing it. So there you go, another example of our lovely leader not doing the right thing or putting his hand in his pocket when he should do. So yeah, that's quite an exciting game. So I'm actually looking forward to that, because what I'm hoping is that, because if you remember the beginning of the season, PSG weren't that great. At the beginning, the league part of the Champions League, they're actually looking like they might not qualify. I don't know if you remember. So what I'm hoping is that by the time we've had a few transfers come in, there's like a few. I said the other day, thanks for putting it down there. I wasn't sure whether we'd be able to play our new players in the Super League Cup final, or Cup, whatever it's called. But you can apparently. So the new players coming in, as they're registered, they can play now. So what I'm hoping, we'll have a few new players now. Whether it's Ange or a new manager coming in to do it, it'll give us a bit more of a chance. But what more so that I'm hoping is that PSG are a little bit rusty. It seems to me, I've looked over the last couple of seasons and they've been a bit rusty in the first games against teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the French League, but there's not really a lot of competition in the French League. So what I'm hoping is you might catch them unawares and make it 2 trophies in the season. Come on. Right. So I've done those 2 tours. So the other bit of information is, I don't know if you've seen that Ryan Mason has agreed a contract to go and take over at West Brom as a manager. I wish him all the luck. He's one of our own. And perhaps one day if he can get the right experience and do a good job, one day maybe come back and manage the mighty Spurs. Because let's face it, he's been part of the furniture for so long now. It feels like it's quite sad to see him go, even though he definitely needs to for his own career. He needs to go off and take that pressure. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he does, actually. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. But so yeah, wishing him the best of luck. The next thing I want to go into is more about like the transfer window itself as well, because how frustrated it's been at the moment, because we're looking at great players. But I don't know if you notice, all the other teams are making really good signings. They're pushing on, they're making the signings, they're getting it done. And the problem we've got is that Daniel Levy won't make a decision about Ange. Now I'm pretty sure any decent player that's worth his weight in gold, or do you know what I mean, a trustworthy player, is going to want to know who's managing us next season. Now don't get wrong, it might be the situation that they do know and they're making those negotiations with the players, and they're telling the players, look, although we haven't released it yet, we know that this is going to be our manager or whatever's going to be there, so they know whether to make a decision to come to us or not. But still, it still leaves things up in the air a little bit for everybody. It's quite frustrating that Daniel Levy, he's ahead of our club, and yet they just can't make the decisions. Like, he must know by now whether he wanted to keep him or not. So just put us out of our misery and say yes or no, so we can move on from it and start getting excited about some players. But okay, yeah, so we'll leave that. So that's one thing I was annoyed about. I ain't going to go on to our players or players we're looking at, because I think at the moment it's a waste of time. All the other aggregators are putting names out and bogus names just to try and get some clicks, I think. But the only ones I know at the moment that are definite ones that are going through, obviously, that are going through, or not going through, should I say, are serious ones, is the Eze deal, which I understand a lot of it's coming down to his buyout clause, because he's got a £60-odd million buyout clause, and if you pay a buyout clause or you trigger a buyout clause, it means that the majority or pretty much all of it has to be up front, which would mean Tottenham's £60-odd million would straight out of our transfer kitty, which we all know Daniel Levy's not going to like that. So what I'm hearing around is that Crystal Palace or Spurs are trying to maybe negotiate where it's a part money, part player. So we lose one of ours, maybe Richie or one of the other wingers we got, about 55 wingers we got, plus some money, and we get Eze in, which, as long as it's the right player, then I'm up with that, definitely, because I really want to get Eze in. I think he'd be so excited next season. And obviously the other guy that's definitely there's talk about is Sane, but if you ask me, I think I can't see it coming. I honestly can't. I think this is all smokescreen to try and get him a better deal at Bayern Munich, sorry. So I don't think I give any sort of validation to that signing. If we do, it'd be a good addition to the squad, without a doubt. But then, don't him and Eze play pretty much in the same position or on the wings like that? They're both forward players. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's lovely to have both of them. But are they going to be happy playing second fiddle to the other one? Who knows? Okay, I'll leave it there, because that's pretty much all it is at the moment. There ain't that much about, otherwise I'll be just telling you lies. so we'll leave it there. Please like, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget my YouTube channel is Deano, COYS, Chit-Chat. Head over there, because there's some other bits and bobs on there that you can look at, and some posts and some shorts and that you might want to get involved with. Yeah, so all it leaves me to say is, as usual, Tottenham till I die.